All right, let's go. I'm a little bit late, but that's because I think I'll be fine with this reason. I'm going to show 2 spells tonight instead of just 1. I'm going to show 2 spells. We're going crazy. We're going crazy tonight, people. We're going crazy. So we have had a great development time here. And I want to start off by, I'm just going to be showing, this is going to be a true spell showcase. We're going to talk about spell showcases. Boom! Man, look at all that green after just 1 week. And a lot of this, a lot of the time spent also has been like, okay, now that we're talking mechanics, when we increase the range, was it when we spend mana to increase damage? Was that whenever we do this, like across all the spells? So we've had a lot of conversations about how things work for all spells. If you have a buff spell, what's the default range of a buff spell? What's the default range of a range attack spell? All these types of things. And now it's just automatic pilot, baby. So this is only going to ratchet up and get even faster, right? That's a lot of green. That's a lot of green for just a Monday, you know what I'm saying? So yes, very, very exciting, wildly exciting, so much green. Just wait. Now, keep in mind, this is this color green. It's not the dark green. But man, oh man, are a lot of these almost dark green. These are like 1 meeting away from being dark green. So I told you this phase was going to go way faster, and it's going to go way faster. So there's that. Now, time out. Okay, we're gonna have a chat here first, people. Okay, I got this. I hope we can get to some Q's and A's, but want to have a heart to heart with you guys. And thank some of you guys too. And then I'm gonna show the 2 spells, and then we'll see how much time is left. Okay, so here's the heart to heart first, then we'll show the 2 spells. Okay, thanks master. Spells. Green, baby, green is good. Yes. All right. So there has been a lot of I feel like I do as good a job as I can. Anything more might be take me away and spend time away from making the game. So I try to truly balance how much I'm in the comments and in comments on whether it be YouTube videos or Discord or Kickstarter posts and all these types of things, right? And versus the balancing. Make the game. You know what I'm saying? I do want to genuinely connect with you guys, see what the pulse check is with everybody. And I've seen frustrations with the 2 points I want to talk about is one, I already posted a whole video on, and then I also posted a time update about like, oh, it's taking so long. You know, we're trapped in design hell or whatever. So to address that, I guess also the other thing is spells, and I saw a lot of concern that I mentioned 400 spells, right? I mentioned 400 spells, and people saw that as a negative. And then I saw some comments about how, well, if D&D has been out for 10 years and they have 500 spells, how does DC20 have 400 spells? I thought there were gonna be less spells. So I think some of the people saying this couldn't have watched the whole live stream, because I definitely go into point by point explaining how that's going to look. And I guarantee the 500 spells in Dungeons and Dragons, there was probably 2,000 or more proposed and hopefully shot down. I hope there was more proposed, and I hope they didn't be like, oh, sounds good, yeah, put it on through, send it, which honestly might have happened. Maybe they didn't do as good of a design work with some of the spells. And I will say this will speak for itself when I show you a DC20 spell. Put it next to any other TTRPG spell. And this is not me trying to like pick fights with Shadow Dark or D&D or Pathfinder or anything. I literally Shadow Dark, I love freaking Kelsey. She's the best. It's not that. I think some of the spells are designed in different ways. DC20 is designed to be customizable. So it's inherently harder to make those spells. So sure, you can compare me side by side to other TTRPG spells that are easier to make. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee if I talk to Kelsey and we talked about making a spell for Shadow Dark versus a spell for DC20, it is harder and takes more time to make a spell for DC20 because of the system. And that's not good or bad. That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? So whenever we have all this stuff to be able to design a spell, we need to be able to see the full design space. And I think it would be irresponsible if I were to make a spell with horse blinders on and just make a spell. Oh, that's cool. And accidentally, oops, this enhancement should have been this, or this enhancement bleeds over into this spell, and this spell can't have this enhancement if this spell exists. So you have to be able to have the full design space filled up to see it all, right? So yes, we brainstormed so many different things. That's a good thing that we brainstormed 400 spells. Did we write out, outline, balance them? No, it's literally ramblings and things that y'all have seen in Patreon live streams, or I've even done some here of just like throwing spaghetti at the wall at what kind of things are spells, right? So I think that is a good thing for DC20's spell health, that we've brainstormed this much, and the spell quality will be better for it, right? Now, I can't, it's a subjective opinion on if that's good or not for the game, and is it better to just like crank it out and then not think of it as much? Sure, there's a give and a take there, right? So I am trying to do my best with it, is really all that I can say. Another thing that popped in my head is somebody saying things about how, oh, time, and this is taking so long, and you said it was going to take a year, and then now it's going to be even longer, and all this other kind of stuff, right? So overall, my timeout to my own timeout is thank you guys for any of y'all that's been out there. I've seen you guys in the comments. I've seen you guys on Kickstarter, on YouTube. Like sticking up and like defend. I don't want you to feel like you have to stick up and defend me or defend DC20 or anything like that. My design team and all this kind of stuff, the devs. But it really does. I was in like a bit of a rut and reading through some kind of like, okay, I'm trying to respond. And then I came back this morning. I was like, okay, let's go check. And I saw a lot of you guys just like, well, no, he's been very transparent, like stepping up and going about for me like that. So I do appreciate that. So genuinely, thank you. But I am now going to go back to focusing on the game and getting it done for Christmas and stuff, right? But I have constantly tried to do my best to estimate, and if I could try to pinpoint why it's taken longer than I have estimated. First of all, I've never made a full game system from scratch. Not many people in the world necessarily have. So that's a shot in the dark guess in the first place. I wrote Alcantar's Almanac right here, and I based a lot of it off that. Alcantar's Almanac was like barely written compared to where DC20 was at the point of releasing the Kickstarter. Y'all saw where DC20 was when I first released the Kickstarter, 0.4, well, I guess at the time of the Kickstarter, 0.7. So 0.7, it was a fully playable game. It was in development for 2 + 3 years, if you now longer if you count the baby steps. But a lot of time went into just before I even started the Kickstarter, right? And so I was like, oh well, if I'm already here and based on Alcantar's, yeah, I'll for sure a year, right? I was even kind of like fluffing it up to try and like, oh no, a year. I was highballing, and then it turns out, so I've tried to do my best, and I've tried to be as transparent as possible. So there's all that, right? And spells, as far as that goes, there is, again, going to be probably 70 or so spells in 0.10, probably 100 in 0.10.5. And then who knows for the full picture of the game, maybe 150. But you'll see. And the spells are going to be more streamlined, more customizable, and other things like that. So there we go. And a rush project is bad forever. There's that. So, because trust me, I would be in the same boat as some other people in the industry if I were to have not done the design way. I'm screwed either way, because if I go too slow, like I am right now, I'm getting heat for it. And if I go too fast and then the game has problems and issues, like this guy just rushed through, he just took all that Kickstarter money and just rushed on through, and now he's selling another Kickstarter. This guy's just not, you know what I'm saying? So like, what do I do, right? So anyway. Wow. I needed that one. All right. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. You're right. I'm out. So let's show some spells now. You know what I'm saying? So the hydration is real. All right. So here it is. Oh, yeah. I guess I should show you. I should show my screen. Boom. All right. Let's zoom in here a bit. All right. So this is the Cloud spell, the first spell that I am showcasing. Official 0.10 spell. It is, again, disclaimer, it is not fully finished, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is not the final version of exactly how the text will appear, etc. Right? We were literally talking about this spell today, and Eddie was like, I don't know if I like one of these things, blah, blah, blah. And so it's not finished, but this is the spot where it's at right now. This is the perfect example of a green, almost dark green spell. And I want to get some feedback for you guys. I'm going to have a question at the end of this. I'm gonna have a question at the end. And I'm also going to get to any super chats. Anybody who's super chatted and like Mantic, welcome to the team member. Thank you. What's up, Mantic? I'm going to go back to super chats after I show these spells off as well. So there's that. And then let me move myself. I'm going to move myself up here. Okay, cool. Can y'all see it? All right, cool. Now, I want some feedback at the end here, right? Some feedback at the end is going to be, I'm going to have a certain question about the way and style of the spell, because it does something I think is really cool and unique, right? So here we go. Cloud. This was the Fog Cloud spell, and Poison Cloud, and Cloud Kill, and Sandstorm, and Blizzard, and you see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of these types of effects bumped into there, right? Okay. Clown. Wait, clown spell? Cloud. Nice try. Y'all trying to clown me? All right. So stay. As we have to hold up. I'm going to do the full presentation here, right? So here we go. Let me get it all right there for you. All right, cool. So Cloud, it's a primal spell because this is like the environment. This is like some sort of storm type situation. Conjuration School. Here's a bunch of different tags. Cool. Cost 2 action points. Doesn't cost any mana. This is a cantrip. Oh my gosh. It's just a baby little cloud, right? Baby little cloud. Its range is 5 spaces, and it's at 10 minutes. And you can sustain this one to keep it going. Or you can not, you can not sustain it if you don't want to. You can have it be a thing and it just lasts for a round. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you obscure a 3-space sphere within range with natural material, fog, sand, sleet, etc. Right? There's the flavor text. And then the sphere spreads around corners and its area is fully concealed. Creatures within 1 space of each other within it can see each other normally, and it lasts for the duration or until wind or moderate or greater speed disperses it, right? So classic, just regular spell, right? And you sustain for 1. Sustain is 1 action point. You don't sustain again with 2. No. Sustain is just 1 action point, right? So Fog Cloud stays on the field. Boom. You can sustain it if you want. The area is concealed. That is a literal cantrip, no mana spent. There we go, right? This is also the cool part I think about this Fog Cloud is if you're in the Fog Cloud, it's I can't see. But if you get within 1 space of somebody, you can see within 1 space. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, now Sealed Climate. If any MP was spent on this spell to cast it, the cloud no longer disperses unless it's been produced by an MP effect, right? So natural wind, it's going to be able to stay and kind of be more sturdy, if that makes sense. If MP effect tries to disperse the cloud, the caster makes a contested spell check, right? So if they literally cast a spell to blow wind out of it, okay, cool, contested spell check. But you can maintain if you spent mana on the spell, right? And then moving in the area, when you sustain this spell, or just spending 1 action point on your turn, you can move the sphere up to 5 spaces to another space within range. Okay. See what I'm saying? So you can move and then move it, and you can move it. And this is a very clever, I think, and this is insights into other spells. Very clever game mechanic here, right? Is when you sustain the spell or spend 1 action point. So if it's my turn, I can spend an action point literally on my turn to move it if I want, or I can end my turn and the start of my turn comes. And when the start of my turn comes, I can spend 1 action point to sustain it. And when you sustain the spell, I can move it for free, right? So there you go. You get the idea. Or now, spell enhancements. How could you enhance the cloud spell? Here's where some of the feedback comes, right? Here's where some of the feedback comes in. Check out how you can enhance it, right? Range, 1 action point. You can spend 1 action point to increase the range of the spell by 5 spaces. Ooh, interesting. Area, 1 mana point, repeatable, meaning you can do it over and over and over again. The diameter of the sphere increases by 1 space. See what I'm saying? And then Freezing Cloud. This is now Freezing Cloud, Abrasive Storm, and Toxic Cloud is what I think this is really, really cool as far as what you can do with this spell. You can do some wild stuff, flavorful stuff, and it's all combined into 1 umbrella, and that's why I love this spell so much. Freezing Cloud turns this into a blizzard. Cool. You pick the cloud spell, and you also can kind of make it like a blizzard, right? The area becomes covered in ice for the duration, which is considered difficult terrain. Once per turn, when a creature starts their turn, it enters a space, ice covered, it makes agility save, or they fall prone. Boom! You have now made a blizzard type of effect by spending 2 mana points to do it, right? So you spend 2 mana points, you can do this. Now, keep in mind that cost of that is 2 mana, so you cannot do this enhancement, right? Again, the base spell costs no action. The base spell costs no mana points. So you have to spend 2 mana on this, which means you have to be level 3 to be able to do that, right? And that's 100% rogue moves. Rogue moves. I 100% agree there. One of the notes that I made on this spell is it doesn't even need to be ice, right? So this doesn't need to be, because the mechanic here is difficult terrain prone. You can have that be grease. You can have that be slimy, sludgy, poison goop. You can have it be so much stuff, right? But there's the flavor there, right? And you could easily reflavor that, absolutely. Abrasive Storm, XMP. Let's see if you guys can figure out what XMP means, right? Creatures in the area can no longer see each other within one space. It gets even more tight. Additionally, once per turn, when a creature starts their turn in the area or enters the area on their turn, it makes a might save against your save DC. And if they fail, they take that X amount of damage, slashing, cold, or poison. Choose whenever you make the enhancement, right? So they take damage from this situation, right? You can spend 2 mana and it deals 2 damage. You can spend 3 mana and it deals 3 damage. You get the idea, right? It becomes an abrasive storm of some kind, whether that's sand or poison or cold or whatever you're doing, right, in the storm. So super cool. Also, to answer a question, whenever you sustain it, you just spend 1 action point to sustain it. You don't have to keep spending mana, right? So there you go. And then Toxic Cloud, the fog becomes toxic once per turn. When a creature starts their turn and enters the area, they make a might save for poisoned, and they get poison and they are impaired, right? So there you go. That is the Cloud spell, right? So now here's my question for the Cloud spell is do we like, what do I want to call this? Condensing and compacting spells of different concepts into one spell, right? Do we so a repeated save is a save, they make a save initially and they get another one at the end of every turn, right? That's what a repeated save is they get another one at the end of every turn. So my question to you guys, I'm making a poll here, start poll. Do you like the condensing of multiple spells into one, right? Yes. No. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So what I'm saying is we could have made this spell Fog Cloud. And we could make a fog cloud and the enhancements would be different. And the fog cloud would be like, the obscure thing and you can't see, or maybe you push them around or something. Maybe it's more, so that's where this, and then another example of this, there's a spell that I really like. It's like a push pull spell. And the push pull spell says it could be plants or water or rock or wind that are pushing and pulling people around. You know what I'm saying? Right. So we have an overwhelming amount say yes. Add fire damage, ash cloud. Exactly. You see the ideas, right? So that's, I think, the cool thing that we can do here, right? So yeah. So sick. And then I think I can just, there we go. And that's pretty overwhelming, right? So there you go, right? Thank you, Arctier Gaming. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. So the concentration is not in DC20, Chad. Sustain is what concentration is in DC20. So sustain, you can sustain at the sustain spells at the top, at the beginning of your turn. You spend 1 action point to sustain a spell that has sustain on it, or you can choose to not do that and keep your action point, right? There we go. Yeah, Flame Master, repeatable on the range. We're going to be watching for that. That is definitely something on the radar. I don't know if infinite repeatable ranges is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know, right? We might, because you can get to where you're like, sniping people from just the most ridiculous, things. And then your players are, mana spin limit also, for the record. Mana spin limit is always the case for anything, right? Mana spend limit is always equal to your combat mastery. So done. And then the other thing, and this is another thing, is this is a general rule for the game. I don't think I've said this out loud before, right? The general rule for the game, you can spend 1 mana to gain 2 action points worth of spell enhancements, right? So if there's a spell that has like action point enhancements that you could spend action points on, but you want to spend mana on them instead, you can, as a default rule of the game. But 1 mana gets you 2 action. So if you wanted to, great example right here. See these 2, range and area? You could. Oh no, it's not. That's not an AP. I thought I saw an AP on this one. So if there's a spell that has 2 different 1 AP action points, you can spend 1 mana, and 1 mana gets you 2 action points worth of enhancements, and you can do that with, right? So there you go, right? When you sustain, can you add spell enhancements? No, you have to recast the spell again, right? You're sustaining the spell you cast. You are not able to like, oh yeah, hey, remember that spell I casted a little bit and I've been sustaining? Now I'm going to add in, you know what I'm saying? Because then there'd be some skirting and you'd have to recast the spell again. Because then also another reason you can't do that is you could skirt and break the mana spend limit, because if there's a mana on the base cost of a spell and you cast it and you're sustaining and then you add mana to it, you're now casting a spell beyond your mana spend limit, which is a hard no, right? Wheeler, 400 spells. Are you crazy? Wheeler is trolling everybody. He is trolling me and the rest of you. So he knows better. He knows better. That's funny. Late fee. What's up, Hayes? Did you see the Patreon video? I answered all 4 of your questions. I got you, bro. All right, cool. So now, spell number 2, Maelstrom. Spell number 2 is Maelstrom. Also timeout. I am trying to also purposely showcase the more complicated spells. Another thing I'm trying to I'm not trying to flex on you guys. I'm saying I am trying to show people's concerns, and I just showed you guys a more complicated spell. This is not just, oh, pew, you know what I'm saying? That was a spell that's like, oh, you have this and it has different, like that's technically what I just showed you is a more complex spell. And I don't think it's that complicated because it's all laid out and piecemealed, right? Maelstrom, I'm also choosing on purpose another. No, the range enhancement is not repeatable because I think that would maybe be unhealthy for the game, because if you could do a repeatable and you could just pump it to like some crazy ridiculous range where you'd be every single spellcaster would be a sniper. And I think that could lead to some bad gameplay where people are just get really far away and they super max range enhancement start fights, and then game masters are like, God dang it, right? So Maelstrom, primal, conjuration, water movements. Also, if you haven't noticed, whenever I'm doing some of the spells, it's the nature and water, and those are some of the first ones done. That's why I'm showing you this. So these are just a very nature, environment, weather themed one on it. You know what I'm saying? So Maelstrom, 2 action points, 1 mana point, baseline, range 5 spaces, durations 1 minute. You create a vortex of water in a three space sphere. 3-space sphere is a 3-space sphere, right? So it's a radius of 3, you know what I'm saying? Within range for the duration. When you cast the spell, make a spell check against the might save of each target in the area. Contest success. They are pushed 2 spaces towards the center. Creatures do not take collision damage from this movement. So when you cast a spell check against the might save, and if you succeed, they are pushed 2 spaces towards the center. Right? So you are getting like sucked in there, right? And then vortex. The area is filled with water. Creatures move their swim speed. This is also part of the baseline spell. Area is filled with water. Creatures move with swim speed, so it literally fills up with water. The target that flows towards the target centered area. Creatures are slowed when moving against the flow of water. When a creature starts their turn in the area or enters it, they make a might save against your save DC. And if they fail, they're pushed 2 spaces towards the center again, right? So again, this is a good example too, where there's still some things here that I'm like, okay, well, we kind of repeat ourselves here and repeat ourselves here. Maybe we can clean up the phrasing of it a bit. But this is the idea, right? Of where you have a spell that's cast and it is pulling into the center, right? So hydrate. Thank you for that. Hot. There we go. So there's the default base version of the spell, right? So spell enhancements, bang. Range increase, standard. Area increase, standard. Those are pretty much going to be on most spells, right? As slowed is slowed 1, unless it says slowed 2, then that is slowed 2, right? And then 3 space sphere is confusing on wording. Oh yeah, I mean that's we've thought about saying expanding on that more. There's a spell. In fact, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up after to be more specific. But that is some of the feedback that even ourselves have been like, is this enough? Is this 3 space sphere? Should we say? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel you on that. And that's something that actually could be changed before it even goes to .10. So that could be a .10 fix, which is also, I'm glad I'm showing you guys, you know what I'm saying? So stronger current, 1 MP, repeatable. Creatures moving against the flow are slowed, and this means slowed again. So you are further making it harder for them, like you're speeding up the water spin, right? And then fully submerged, 1 mana point. Creatures in the area can't breathe unless they can breathe underwater. So then now you have filled everything up, and they are literally drowning. And if you spend even more, drowning. 3 mana points required fully submerged. When a creature fails to save, they lose their breath, and they are literally now drowning, right? So there's that. Maelstrom, right? And we'll see if this spell makes the cut, or maybe it doesn't make the cut. I just wanted to show this one because this is, again, a more complicated one, but a creative one for like battlefield movement and tactics. And this is more, of course, we're going to have spells that are damage, area, damage, burning, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Boom. And done. Nice. And then I think I want to do, where does the spell database? Team spells. No, I want to look for the template section. I can show you guys that too. Color coding, numbers. Oh, there we go. Is this it? Oh no, it's not. Look up. Where's the grid? Dang it. Where's the grid? Let me see. Team. Oh, list. Oh no, that's my Google. That's my whole situation. Let's try it again. Team spells. No, we have an entire like grid of like all the spells and all the different templates. Style guide. AoE. Healing spells. No. Damage spells. Oh. Targeted. Huh? That's ranged. No. Area of effect. There's the area of effect. Oh no. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So mana spin limit is per spell cast. Yeah, you can cast. It's your mana spin limit is per spell you cast, right? To answer that question. But I think that's there you go. That and this is good feed. Another reason why I want to show these on the live streams before 0.10 is like y'all are saying, like, okay, you wanted me to put the diameter on there and actually be 2 space sphere is not clear enough and actually say it right. We're trying to be efficient with like how we say things, but yeah, so there's that. Cool. So now with that out of the way, now we have a little bit of time for Q&A. So let me get caught up actually with the super chats. Oh my gosh, maybe we don't have a time for a Q&A because there's so many super chats. Thank you guys. Wow. Red Panda, saw some harsh, unfair criticism online recently. Just want to say I fully believe you this game and the way you're handling development. You have my utmost trust. Keep doing what you're doing. Red Panda, thank you, dude. I did not even see that. We literally had talked about that and addressed that, and then you come and hit me with that. Thank you, dude. Monday was a rough day, so I really do appreciate that more than you know, man. So appreciate you. Christmas /0.10 release dev stream live stream, maybe. Yeah, I hope. Well, now I don't know I don't even know where I'm going to be for Christmas. I think we're going to be here. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, the Christmas live stream. We'll see. We'll see what the Christmas live stream looks like. But we are trying to hit that Christmas so hard, man. We have been going around the clock, like you're seeing on how that green's getting there. So like, yeah. And then Jeff Chambers with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, dude. You rock. Danny, how would you run a social encounter if you wanted to avoid having a face of the party? In references this month's DC20 magazine. Nice. Yeah, DC20 magazine is the playtest social mechanics and stuff like that, right? So if you do want to avoid having a face of the party, I think that's one of the things of why you can use the social system, how I've laid it out in DC20. Some of the things involved are the NPC has some sort of trigger, positive or negative, and you can find out those types of things. So if you're more of an investigative type person, you're not a face of the party, you like to like sneak around, investigate, and do that type of stuff. Oh, cool. Well, you can go investigate and find out about the NPCs and see what kind of things they have going on that you can gain bonuses for your party, and you can help contribute, right? And then face of the party, as far as other issues, you want to avoid having a face of the party. Other general game master tips would also just be having the triggers of an NPC, the interests that they have, be around one of the player characters. So for my table, I have one of my player characters loves fishing. So I would have an NPC that loves fishing, and that would be something that they find out. And then if the fishing player talks to them at all, the DC drops by 5, and there you go. You know what I'm saying? But then if the face of the party were to talk to them, maybe it wouldn't trigger that in that same way. So then maybe it's actually better for the not face of the party to make the check. You know what I'm saying? Just if you want to engage people. But there you go. And Liam, for being the sole monetary endorsement to my presidential campaign, as well as just a nice guy, Kyle Doring, you are awesome person of the week. Kyle Doring, you got it, man. Kyle, you are the awesome person of the week. How does it feel, Kyle? It's like an honorary thing to be the awesome person of the week. The APW, you know what I'm saying? And then Adam Carson, thank you for the 1 month. Let's go. Team member for 1 month. Let's go, Adam. Appreciate you, dude. And then Oiver. Hey, coach, my players had their first year anniversary of their DC20 campaign, and they're absolutely loving the game. They're super excited for 0.10. Let's go. Oh, man, 1 year anniversary. That's crazy. Oh, my gosh, that's crazy. Oh, that is really cool. That is really cool. I love that. And that's even why I want to increase the level cap for you guys that have been playing for so long, which is why I'm trying to do that in 0.10.5, is increase the level cap to 5. Yeah, I'm really wanting to do that and get that to you guys as soon as possible. So awesome. Thanks for that, dude. Ziggy Boy. Hey, coach, just want to let you know I appreciate DC20 and what you're doing and your team is doing. Thank you, man. Like I'm saying, that feels good. It's a nice little refuel. Sometimes you get a little beat down, and that's a nice little refuel there. So thanks, Siggy Boy. Appreciate you, man. And then Duckster is hyping me with a Corey. Yep. Hype. Thanks, dude. Afari Noxa, give some love to the team for us. Thank you all. Yep. Just talked to them today, and that's where a lot of this green stuff came from. Heck yeah. And then Path of Most Resistance. Thanks, Safari. Path of Most Resistance. I'd rather see you do it right. And honestly, how many quick starters have no updates, no progress, and never get done? You won't ever be one of those, and we all know it. I appreciate that, man. I am surprised at times when I see like the people like say like, oh, I haven't got an update. I'm like, I update, man. I do 2 streams a week, and I make a monthly post on Kickstarter. And I know the people on Kickstarter don't watch the live streams. I'm not expecting them to, which is why I make the Kickstarter post, have all the information in there, and even link to the live stream with the timestamp to try and, make it as efficient as possible. But sometimes just not enough. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. And then Mantic, sometimes one negative voice can drown 100 positive ones. So let's make our voices heard. DC20 feels like it should be right where it is. And there are many of us standing behind you in the team. Thank you. Gold medal. I used the gold medal emoji. My track background. Thanks. You appreciate it, man. Aimless. On sus. What? Are you intersperse the movement on your turn? On sus. On sustain? Are you intersperse the movement your turn? On sus. I think you're saying sustain. And are you intersperse the movement on your turn? You can absolutely interspace movement on your turn, but I don't know what on sus means. On sus. Maybe chat, can y'all help me out? On sus. Christmas is coming. No, it's sustain. Okay, cool. No, I don't. I think you're saying on the cloud movement. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, that's a cool question. I see. Yeah. So on sustain. Yeah. So how I would, that's actually, you know what? I'm going to make a literal note of that. Sustain, intersperse, movement note, right? So very, very well said there. So yeah, my ruling is yes. Like if you spend the action point, you have that movement. And just like if you spend an action point for your movement and you had these coupons of movement you can spend across your turn, same thing with the cloud. So that's a no-brainer for me, but it needs to be clear. And that's why it's such a great question. So nice aimless, nice. Liam, add fire damage, Ash Cloud. Oh yeah, I saw that from earlier. Yep. And then Sing and Smash. When you sustain, can you add spell? Oh, yeah, okay, I got that one too. And I got the late feed from Hayes. Okay, cool. Guardian Realms, what will restrict the damage types? Is it spell school? It's nothing. I would say I would challenge that premise in the first place. Nothing is restricting damage. The spell schools don't restrict damage types per se. I guess there could be some, like the elemental spell school, sure, will restrict those damage types to elemental damage types. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty straightforward. But like a primal spell Vine could deal slashing damage. You know, it's not like that's. So I would say that's not one of the like the rules that we have to follow. It's what damage type makes the most sense for the spell, and then we make the spell, and then where does the spell fit? Oh, it fits in this school. You know what I'm saying? So I think the spell school is one of the later things to be added on to it. And it's not one of the first things, you know what I'm saying? Like we make the spell and then figure out what school it goes in, right? Would be the order of operations there, right? Oisin, will there be any mundane spells, i.e. doing laundry? What? Doing laundry? Mundane spells. There will be rituals, and I think the answer to the question is yes, based on what rituals can do. And there's gonna be some rituals that do some like more basic stuff like that, right? But I think that's what you're meaning. So I think the answer to that question is yes. Like something like prestidigitation. So yeah, absolutely. The Sing and Smash. Would it be cool if you sustain this cloud spell and enhance lightning spells that call lightning from storm type build, create your own cloud boost? Create cloud spell enhancing lightning spells that call lightning from the storm type build. Oh yeah. So there is a call lightning spell that makes the storm cloud, and there's a little cloud and it floats around and shoots lightning out of it. That's a spell in the game as well, but I want that to function differently than the cloud spell. And you could cast both spells and you could try and flavor them together and stuff like that. But one thing I don't want to do with the DC20 spell system is go too far off the edge and have like, it's a cloud spell and there's an enhancement and there's another enhancement and there's this enhancement, and this enhancement changes the game entirely. Like it changes the way the spell functions entirely. That's where we draw the line. If a spell enhancement changes the functionality of the spell and adds a new mechanic, no. So that would be its own spell, and it would be its own spell with that as the foundation, and then we build on that for its own spell, right? We've learned a lot in these last few months of the pitfalls and things to watch out for. So yep. Dustbreaker, will dot 10 address all circles or squares area? So yeah, all circles are squares. I don't know what if you, and now I'm going to go to the chat here because I want to see what you guys are saying here. But if you have a 3x3 sphere, it's a 3x3 sphere. If you have a 3x3 square, it's a 3x3 square. It's the same thing, right? So when it comes to making a game and choosing the templates, there are no squares in DC20. There's not going to be a spell that says, oh, blah, 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 square. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be a sphere. It's going to be a circle, right? And it's going to take up, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a square on a grid. It won't be on a hex. It'll look more like a circle, sure. But it's going to be applicable towards hexes and circles, or hexes and squares. Both are fine. And this is what it is, right? It would be way more complicated to be like, okay, well, all right, but then we're gonna take off some of the corners here. We're gonna take off some of the corners, and those don't count. Like, no, and then cones get weird, and then no, it's gonna, yeah, that's what it is, right? You could use templates, and you could literally just have the actual template and do that if you wanted to have like exact, of that. But if you're gonna use a grid map, a hex, not hex, if you're gonna use a square map, they're gonna be a bunch of squares. So there you go, right? So there you go. Hydration, thank you. Oh yeah. Show us the spell shapes. I'm gonna try. Let me see if I can. Oh, maybe I can ping. Poison cloud? No. Let me see. Someone link me the spell images for templates. You know what? Actually, you know what? Hold up. I think I know. I think he knows. I think I know. Let me go to the master, and I can go to spells. Oh, but it might not be. Let me see. Spells. What on earth? Okay, so not there. Spellcaster chapter. Images. Oh, the images aren't here. Schools, tags, area. Oh, that's a cool one. We have some new images that we're making for. And then the only other place I could think of, spells, features. Oh, updated. No. No. Look at all those meetings. I'm trying to go find spells. No. Yeah. No. We're gonna have to see and cross our fingers if the team shoots me something. But anyway, all right. Coming back. And then question. There we go. Shapes. Okay. Oh yeah. Effects need to be sized at either radius or diameter. Yeah, we're gonna say diameter. We'll make sure to say like, oh, it's a 3/6 diameter. Like we'll make sure to say that. Oh, here we go. I think Mortal got me. Let's see. No. There we go. Continue. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so where's my circle? There's my sphere. A sphere is defined as diameter in spaces. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, oh, interesting. Wait, oh God, why is this? Oh God. Okay, there we go. Yeah. All right. So then now there we go. A share screen. Where's my? There we go. Cool. There we go. Sphere. Ta-da. So it's diameter. You say that so if it says a three space sphere, we're talking about the diameter. So you could say 3-space diameter sphere, right? But that's what it would be. So this would be a 2-space sphere, 3-space sphere, 4-space sphere, right? So you get the idea on the squares. Can I zoom in on that? That's a terrible zoom. You get the idea. So 2-space sphere, 3-space sphere, 4-space sphere. These numbers just represent how many total spaces it's affecting. We were doing some math on all that. And then you have the hexes and all that stuff. Get me out of here. Yeah, the hexes. And then this is a ring. Some spells might be a ring. You haven't seen that yet. That's a little sneak peek right there. You got your cones. And yes, this is what a cone looks like. It's going to be so crazy. It's crazy. Why does a cone look like that? Right? But if you have a 4-space cone, it would be one from this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the same every way, right? If you guys want diagonal movement not to cost every other and all that stuff, this is what they look like. I am going for efficiency. I'm going for simplicity. I'm going for fun. I'm not trying to be like, actually, I want the cone to be shorter diagonally. So then now people have to remember, okay, well, this is good. It's not that square, or you know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. And this is also hexes. This is what you do. You can go play with your hexes. And this is an aura. You get the idea, right? This is an arc. Get the idea. So there you go. There's some sneak peek. Nice try. Yeah, it's the most simple. It's the most logical. It's very easy. I know it's like, all cones are squares. No, not all cones are squares, but I see what you're saying. So there we go. So there's that. All right, cool. And back to questions. Oh my gosh, we're already in. We're in overtime. We're in overtime. I did so much showcase, and you guys are super timed. I'm getting caught up. Okay, we're in overtime. Here we go. Buckle up. 5e cloud spell. 5e has a number of spells that GMs have to take into account and design their encounters around. Will DC20 avoid this headache? Yeah, we won't put them in. If you will see all the different times where we are going to protect game masters from not putting in spells that you can just break the game with, or bypass encounters with, bypass traveling with. There's definitely going to be hoops and mana enhancements we will be able to put in place. We'll have to look for an example for that, and I can't do that right now. In overtime, here we go. Thank you, Hayes. Vault of Velios. Hey, Coach, are there plans to change the term for magic power? I published magic items with summaries and tried to shorthand magic power, but MP was already used for mana points. Also love your process. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that, dude. Thank you for all Velios. I do see that the magic power is not abbreviatable. I'm not too worried about magic power not being abbreviatable. At least right now, I could see I could see that being the case if it came up, and if it was like, oh, this is a much better name, then I'm sure, yeah, I'd take the name. But I think magic power is just so on the nose for what it is that I'm not like super pressed to change the name for it based on a acronym level. But I do see exactly what you're saying, and I agree it would be nice if it wasn't. So I do agree with you, and I appreciate that you love my process, dude. Appreciate the support. Cosmic Trademark with a $1 super chat. Thank you, Cosmic. Didn't even ask a question. Appreciate you, man. King Leech. Will spells have verbal semantic material components as per abrasive cloud enhancement? Shouldn't saves be for conditions versus damage? Yeah. Okay. So King Leech. Man, I wish this question was asked not in overtime. But spells are assumed to have verbal and semantic components unless said otherwise. Spells are assumed not to have material components unless stated otherwise. There's the take on that. And then saves are for conditions if you are trying to apply a condition to somebody. The only time where that isn't the case is in traps or environmental effects. If there is a trap on the ground, imagine there's a hunter trap, and I do this thing, and I blah, 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 and I put a hunter trap on the ground, right? And there's a trap there, and I run away from it, I walk away. I don't want to have the hunter have to make a trap for the thing, and then they make some roll against the trap or something. Or if I'm a game master and then they walk into a trap and it triggers a trap and I make an attack roll again, I'm trying to do a trap that deals damage, right? I don't want the game to be so much like la 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 la. No, you have to make an attack roll to deal damage. The goal of that system of making an attack roll is to protect the player's agency, so they are doing something on their turn. They are rolling to cast a spell. They are rolling to attack. They are rolling dice. We have accomplished that, and we will protect that to the end. So it is okay to have sometimes there be an effect where there is an aura or an environment or an area, a zone of damage, and you can try to, you know what I'm saying? So we are introducing that with these spells and playing around with that. But I absolutely see, King Leech, you know the game system well enough to know that and to even question that. I love that. And we are expanding and playtesting that. Nerd Doctor, that was a terrible rapid fire. I'm doing very bad at going fast. Sent you DC24 early access link. Yeah, baby, I got that. I got a purple star on it in my inbox. I see you, dude. Appreciate you, man. Kyle, oh my God, thank you for the AWP, APW. Coach, is the APY Awesome Person of the Year? No way. Stop it. You stop it. I will take an award after DC20 is finished. Jekyll Geek, do you think hobgoblins, high elves, and bugbears are just tall goblins, gnomes, and gremlins? Also, will kobolds have dark vision? Kobolds will have dark vision. I think I'm doing better at this rapid round. Hobgoblins are basically like goblins. Yeah. High elves are just like our elves, right? They're elves with a bit more magic, right? And then mix in some celestial, mix in some whatever. And then bugbears are beastborn, bearborn, right? And or gremlins are just tall gremlins. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bugbears are tall gremlins. Love that. Super turbo mode. Wheeler with another super chat, dude. For creating the Awesome Person of the Week award, Liam is Awesome Person of the Month. Whoa, Wheeler. We have an awesome person of the month and week now. It's official. To avoid confusion, circle effects are, yes, this is diameter. I'm sorry if that was, I just kept saying the thing. I was just presenting it as is. I should have been better at clarifying diameter. It's a diameter of how wide the dimensions, you know what I'm saying? So I should have said that. Thank you, Danny, for forcing my clarification on that. Love it. Vapora, any interesting news for enhancement spells? Any interesting news for enchantment spells? Enchantment spells are not green yet. Enchantment spells will be green by next live stream. I can tell you that. So stay tuned for enchantment spells. In next one, maybe that's one of the ones I showcase. Enchantment spells based on mind control and charm. Is it not just one spell? Is it? Oh no. There's plenty of enchantment spells that do lots of things with emotions and fear and mind control and possession and ooh baby. Please show us the spell shapes. I got you, book magic. Liam, thank you, bonus bardic aggravation team. A year ago, my social anxiety would never let me be as outgoing. It's because of everyone here that I care, that I overcame so much. This acknowledgement is such an honor. Oh man, glad I could be positivity in this community. Liam, look at all the positivity you create, dude. Like, you create positivity in the world, and that's not just in this community, in this game. I challenge you to keep doing this type of stuff you're doing out in the world, out at a coffee shop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a positive person. You've spread so much freaking positivity, man. You rock, dude. Oh my god. Also, say something in the chat because we're gonna go right into the giveaway. How do you handle NPCs in your games? Ooh, this is the rough overtime question. HP, AP, etc. I've been doing how many hits they take and can give them 3 AP, but I'd love to see how you do it. I've been doing how many hits they can take. Oh yeah. So NPCs, there's a chart that's going to be releasing soon as far as health is concerned. But in general, I usually go by fives, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and I kind of stay in those chunks of fives as far as that goes, and then scale it based on how much health I want them to have. You can also look at your players. Look at your players and look at a like a hunter / rogue kind of health. Hunter, rogue, monk, look at how much health they have, someone that's not prime might, and like that is a good baseline as far as if you're comparing it to a player. So look at your players. And then action points, I usually default to 4 action points, and if it's something I don't really want to care about, I might do 3. I very rarely do 2 action points, but I might do 3. So there's that. And then would DC20 have squares if you were playing Minecraft setting? Wait, would DC20 have squares if you were playing in a Minecraft setting? Of course. Of course it would. Everything would be squares. My son would love that question. My son loves Minecraft. Afari, what damage type was the cloud spell? And would changing the damage type for flavor, or would you condone changing the spell damage types? I absolutely would condone. If you wanted to be like, hey man, can I make this fire instead? That's such a non-game breaking thing. That's absolutely, you know what I'm saying? I would absolutely. I could see the corrosion and have it be a acid cloud. You know what I'm saying? Like a acid rain cloud. You know, done. Make it corrosive. You know what I'm saying? We might even just add those in there naturally. So yeah, changing damage types is not that big of a deal. And then Perry Terry says, just because. That's awesome, dude. Thank you for that. All right, so we're doing the giveaway. Winner. On the giveaway, fire is cool. The winner is Jake the Beast. Said something right after I did the giveaway. Joseph Blosser 3247. Joseph Blosser, go to Discord, message a moderator on Discord. They'll get you hooked up and set up with the PDF and the Monster Starter Pack. And if you already backed the Kickstarter, you get even more stuff. I got you, dude. Winner. Chicken dinner. That's right. Congrats. Hydration. Huh. And boom. Next week, more green. Probably a lot more green. Dare I say all green? I don't know. Is that crazy to say all green? I don't know. So anyway, stay creative. Think outside the box. I'm going to go grind away.